and welcome to C Squared. I'm Chantel Colwell.
And I'm Cassandra Anderson.
Hi, everyone. Today we have Steven with us, who is an Ontario artist. Hi, Steven. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
So, Steven, we're just going to start from the beginning. Like, what got you into doing art and what types of art drive you?
So it used to be really traditional. I actually went to art school for a really long time, just trying to practice and getting down all the fundamentals, like you've got traditional drawing and painting, you've got sculpting, you got sketching, all that kind of, gesture drawing and stuff. And then as time has gone on and since graduating, it's just like the rest of the world, right? We're really hurried to get into like all this digital stuff. So it's been a lot of like digital art, Wacom tablets, that sort of thing there. So a lot of Photoshop. So yeah, it's just the start and the end of it, I guess.
What is your biggest inspiration when it comes to drawing your artwork?
So it comes from everywhere, really. I mean, you can just be on Twitter and see something really cool, DeviantArt, see something really cool. It's just anything like that. Consistent source of inspiration. There's a website called Creature Box, which is led by two brilliant guys, Greg Baldwin and David Geerton. And every day they just post up, little sketches from their books, stuff like that. And you just look at it and you go, my God, these guys are amazing. They've got all these different ideas and they roll off each other. So it's the two of them working together, just kind of collaborating. And some of the stuff is just really far out there. And that's the kind of stuff I'm really into, like the surreal stuff. Yeah.
Is there any specific art that is your favorite that you have done recently?
A lot of what I try to do with especially storyboarding art is trying to get just in film in general and animation. So I'm a huge fan if you can get nice fluid animation like Klaus that was on Netflix a while ago. That was just like a treat to see as an artist because you go, oh, there's no tweening here. There's just, every frame is a painting. So if you can do stuff like that, it's really, really inspiring to see as an artist, especially in film and stuff, which is, what got me into that craft too, kind of trying to get into that industry. Yeah.
So do you plan on making your own animation to maybe sell to Netflix or sell to Hulu or something like that? Is that in your plan since that's what you really inspires you?
So with that whole process, once you see inside the studio and stuff, I don't think I could do it my own just because there's so many moving parts and so many people. And I was really fortunate about 10 years ago to kind of get involved with a very small studio that has since grown exponentially, but it's kept that kind of family atmosphere. Like, even though it's grown up so much, you can still see okay, everybody's still, connected and we still have the same ideas and we can still roll out with the same kind of ideas and ingenuity. And seeing that is fantastic. I don't think, that being said, I could do it alone because you do need a massive, almost animation house. I'd like to be part of that, which I am in my day-to-day stuff, but I don't know if it can be tackled individually per se anymore. Maybe at one point in history, but it's very, very hard to do. Yeah.
My son's so my son has huge ambitions. He wants to start his own video game thing. He's already called himself Disc Entertainment. And so He also wants to do, he's like, everything's on a disc. I don't care what kind of disc it is. It could be a hard drive, could be anything. Everything's on a disc, Mom. And I'm like, you're right. It is technically. Yep. And then he's like, I want to do my own television show, animation and everything. And he's already scripting it out and everything like that. Right. He's already making up all his characters. He's like, I'm going to get this done. I'm going to hire people. They're going to work with me. And I'm like, it's a lot of work, but good luck, kid.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going to let him know what you had to say.
Yeah. Collaboration's the best, you can, if you sit down and you go, I'm gonna do the best that I can on this aspect, and you can have communication and stuff with other people and really get that gel going. That's when you're really gonna succeed the most, because you might have the best idea and then keep on going from there, but somebody else in the room might have an even better idea. And if you can collaborate the two of you together and make that possible, that's where you're going to come out with the best product. So if you can get the best designer, the best coder, the best artist, the best musician, all together in one roof, that's where you're going to really soar. So I've had the privilege of working with a lot of really talented people over the years. So just trying to come together and get that kind of vibe going on it, that's what you're striving for sure.
Is there any project right now that you're working on with anyone by any chance, collabing right now? Any projects for this coming future?
So here's the thing about NDAs, in the wonderful world of that. I'm working on this huge project right now that I can't say anything about, unfortunately. There's been, yeah, exactly. So give it a couple years and something will come out. But when this fell into my lap, it was basically one of the people at my studio was like, hey, we have this kind of assignment if you want to do a little test for it. And as soon as I got that email, I'm like, no way, this is amazing. So I dove into that immediately and just started doing that. And they took me on, and I was doing boarding for that after a while too, and like just, you know, various stuff that they'd have me on, and that was really exciting. So I'm going to announce a huge thing on you know, Facebook about that when it's finally out. But yeah, just stuff over the years. Like we had an animated series called Luna Petunia that came out on Netflix. It was like a preschool kind of animated show of this, you know, little girl that goes into like this big world and stuff like that. So we had that going for a while. Sorry, yeah. So I had the privilege of working on boarding with that third season when it came out. So yeah, I really cut my teeth on that one. That was good. And a lot of the live action stuff we do these days is like the Hallmark stuff. So if you're like into the romantic Christmas movies and all that kind of stuff, yeah, I've got into that world and kind of stuff. And just the different stuff we've done, like we kind of tackle every genre. Like you get some drama stuff over there, some action related stuff there, some comedy things over here. So yeah, very privileged to be able to work in that industry where we're so diverse, and just, you know, the studio that I'm working for is just reaching out into so many different you know, different things, because, you know, it's very easy to rest on laurels and be like, well, we do this one thing very well, so we'll just continue doing that. But it's another thing, you know, every time we have a new director pop up, they're like, we want to go in this direction with it, and you're like, okay, that really interests me, and I'm going to follow you down that road because that's really cool. And if you can execute it properly, it comes out very well. So yeah.
So I have a question, because that's really cool. I don't know if you can talk about it. You mentioned the Hallmark. Is there anything in the past that you can talk about today that you had a little part in with the Hallmark video? Because I watched these too, the little holiday videos. So I'm actually very curious. I think that's really cool. Now that you said that.
Yeah. So there's a few different things that we've had on City TV. There was The Wedding Planners, which was a TV series we were doing there for a bit, and there's been a few ones on. There's a channel that they have it in the States, and you can get it up here as well. I'm just trying to remember what the channel name was, but there's a few different romance movies we've had where it's very action based, so it's really exciting that we can go through that. So there was, I believe it was called Romance in the Wilds or Love in the Wilds, one of those two, and that was cool just to be on that for like a couple weeks. We had this whole choreographed thing where we bring in like a bear into the scene, so it's like, oh, the bear's going to be over here, and like just even we had a dog as well on set, and just watching them interact with that was like, you know, they're actors too, right? So you'll be sitting there and like action's called, the dog goes up and does something and then sits down, and then they're like, all right, back to one, and the dog will go back over here, and then they're like, all right, let's play that through again. It does exactly the same thing. You're like, that dog works harder than I do. Like, that's amazing. So,
that's funny. Oh, that's so amazing.
That is really amazing. Thank you for sharing that with us. Super cool.
Not a problem.
If our viewers are looking for you and looking for your works, where can they find you? What are your socials?
So on Instagram, I'm known as Pinnacle of Cynical. So there's underscores. So Pinnacle _ Cynical. And then just Steve McCorkell on Facebook. You can find me there. Just, yeah. That's basically it. Just what I have now. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Steven. It was great to meet you.
Cheers. Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you so much for listening. I'm Cassandra Anderson.
And I'm Chantel Colwell. This has been C
Squared.